Imagine living in a country where 1 in every 63 people is an informant. A place where your neighbor, your colleague, even your spouse could be reporting your every word to the secret police. This wasn't a dystopian novel. This was the reality for millions in East Germany under the watchful eye of the Stasi. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the surveillance state that aimed to know everything and control everyone, driving many to the brink of insanity. Let's start with one man, Wolfgang Templin. He wasn't a criminal or a spy. He was a human rights advocate, a philosopher who dared to organize a small discussion group in his apartment to talk about something we often take for granted: human rights. In the eyes of the German Democratic Republic, or GDR, this simple act made him an enemy of the state. And the Stasi, the state's infamous Ministry for State Security, unleashed its full force upon him. Templin's case wasn't just about tapping a phone line. The Stasi assigned at least 10 collaborators, or IMIs as they were called, unofficial collaborators, to monitor his every move. They documented when he left his house, who he met, what he bought at the grocery store. They followed him on the street, sat near him in cafes, and listened to his conversations. His home, the one place he should have felt safe, was bugged. His privacy was systematically dismantled, piece by piece. This relentless, invisible pressure was a key Stasi tactic known as Zersetzung, which translates to decomposition or disintegration. The goal wasn't just to gather information, it was to psychologically destroy a person, to make them feel isolated, paranoid, and powerless, until they simply gave up. But the Stasi's web of surveillance extended far beyond individuals like Templin. It was a system that permeated every single layer of society. It's easy to think they only targeted dissidents, but that's a dangerous misconception. The Stasi monitored everyone, from factory workers to university professors, and even high-ranking party officials. Why? Because information is power. By collecting compromising material on even the most powerful figures, the Stasi ensured loyalty and obedience. Everyone had secrets, and the Stasi made it their business to find them. Imagine the sheer scale of this operation. At its peak, the Stasi employed over 91,000 official officers and had a network of up to 189,000 unofficial collaborators. This meant that in any given group of people, there was a statistical probability that someone was listening for the state. This created a pervasive climate of fear and mistrust. Friendships were strained, family bonds were tested. You could never be sure who you could confide in. The state had successfully inserted itself into the most intimate spaces of human connection. So, how did they gather so much information? The Stasi had almost unlimited access to personal data. They could walk into any hospital and demand your medical records. They could go to any bank and inspect your financial statements. They had keys to apartment buildings and could enter your home at will to plant bugs or search your belongings. Their objective was total transparency, but only in one direction. They wanted to see into the private thoughts and souls of their citizens, to preempt any thought or action that might deviate from the party line. One of the most insidious and revealing examples of their methods was a secret department known simply as Department M to the outside world. It looked like a sorting facility for the National Postal Service, the Deutsche Post, but inside, it was a massive surveillance operation. Hundreds of employees worked in shifts, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with a singular purpose: to open and read the mail. They didn't just target a few suspicious letters. On an average day, they would intercept and open around 90,000 letters and packages. The process was chillingly industrial. Employees used steam to carefully unseal envelopes without leaving a trace. Letters were read, photographed, or summarized. Packages were x-rayed and their contents inspected. If anything interesting was found, it was logged, cross-referenced, and filed away in the ever-growing archives. This wasn't just about finding spies. It was about understanding the mood of the population. Were people complaining about shortages? Were they making jokes about the leadership? Were they planning to escape to the West? The mail was a direct pipeline into the private lives of millions, and the Stasi tapped it relentlessly. The psychological impact of living under this constant, invisible scrutiny was devastating. People began to self-censor, not just in public, but in their own homes, in their own diaries. The fear of being watched became so ingrained that the surveillance almost became self-perpetuating. Even if no one was actively listening at a particular moment, the possibility that they could be was enough to control behavior. This led to widespread anxiety, depression, and a profound sense of isolation. The state wasn't just controlling what people did, it was controlling what they felt they could do. When the Berlin Wall fell in 1989, the Stasi frantically tried to destroy the evidence of their crimes. They shredded countless files, turning them into mountains of paper scraps. But they couldn't destroy everything. The sheer volume of their records was too immense. What remained were miles and miles of files, a paper trail of a nation spying on itself. Today, these archives are open to the public. German citizens can request to see their own Stasi file. For many, like Wolfgang Templin, it was a horrifying and validating experience. He discovered that some of his closest friends had been informing on him for years. Imagine the betrayal, the pain of learning that the people you trusted were complicit in your psychological torment. Yet, for many, seeing the files was also a form of liberation. It was proof that they weren't crazy, that the paranoia they felt was real, that the invisible enemy had a name and a face. The story of the Stasi is a stark and powerful warning. It shows how a state, armed with ideology and a lust for total control, can turn society against itself. It demonstrates the profound importance of privacy, not as a luxury, but as a fundamental human right essential for freedom of thought, expression, and association. When privacy is eroded, so is the very foundation of a free and open society. The technology has changed since the days of the Stasi. We now live in a digital age where our personal data is collected on an unimaginable scale, not just by governments, but by corporations. The methods are more sophisticated, the reach is more global. The story of Wolfgang Templin and the millions of others who lived under Stasi surveillance isn't just a history lesson. It's a cautionary tale for our time, a reminder to be vigilant in protecting the freedoms that others fought so hard to win. It forces us to ask ourselves, what is the price of security, and how much of our privacy are we willing to trade for it? Thank you so much for watching. The history of the Stasi is complex and deeply human, and we've only scratched the surface today. If you found this video informative and thought-provoking, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into history. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.